Hi there, welcome to the weekly Ripple session. We're looking at the weekly chart and the Wyckoff pattern. So far, the price for Ripple has been staying above the support line defined by the automatic reaction. Before getting into the details, these sessions are not financial advice, they're for education research purpose only and discussions with the online community here. So your comments are very welcome. So here, as of this moment, we see like continuously declining volume. People may be seeking for a new direction given all the uncertainties in the market. In terms of Wyckoff, for Solana, Ripple, at least what we're seeing right now is basically somewhere below the buying climax, but not yet so pessimistic to the level where the PSY used to be. So it seems like Ripple still has some pretty good support based on what happened last 2 weeks or even 3 weeks above the purple line. So this could be another LPSY forming. If I change it to line chart, it's easier. So there may be a chance that it's going to retest the green line. Whether it can break above it, that's going to be a challenge if the market sentiments remain same. If we look at the daily chart, over here we see even though it stays above the bottom of the short-term playground zone, it couldn't pass through the halfway line. So this halfway line has been defined by these frequent activities that happened over the past few months since end of last year. So as of now, it's still staying below this line. So if there's not much happen, probably it will stay like within this zone. That's a price range we're talking about somewhere between $2 to $2.40. So that would be the case. Similarly, if we look at the volume, it has been getting lower and lower. So there's probably a chance that it may go to test the bottom of the pink box and then retest this middle line. And unless there's some surprising news, that's probably what's going to happen for the next few days. And I don't see any crossing of ranges or trends as of this moment. The only thing that may be a trend, if I really have to draw one, is this downward trend potentially. If I change it to the line chart, it's easier to see. So roughly about this. So this could be a downward trend that's being formed. However, I think it's still horizontal at the moment, so I would change this to let's see, another color. Let's use more pale blue and see how this develops over the next few weeks. If this is really a downward trend being formed, that would be interesting to see how it develops. As of now, I still think it's horizontal within the pink box. So that's for Ripple. I'll move on to Ethereum next. See you there. Cheers. Hi there. Welcome to the weekly Ethereum session. And we're looking at the weekly chart of Ether and together with its Wyckoff pattern. Before getting into the details, these sessions are not financial advice, they're for education research purpose only and also discussion with you and the online community, so your comments are very welcome. And getting back to the chart, we've seen the buying climax, the upwards, and then to LPSY. Right now, the significance is last week the price closed below both the support line defined, or resistance line now defined by the PSY. Over here, the blue and also the yellow, somewhere around here. And then it also closed below or within the white box, the long-term playground zone. So from this point onwards, it's getting more difficult, especially when this yellow line crosses the white box, that this seems to be a very strong resistance line for Ether to break through. So a likely scenario would be a new accumulation phase may be starting. So be careful how far lower the price can go. If we take the last cycle as a reference, that's roughly around 1070 or 80, roughly around that range, 1070 to be exact, but it's never exact, right? So the more pessimistic scenario would be hitting the bottom of this white box. If this long-term trend is correct, that it goes likely upwards, then it's probably around 700 or 800, depending on how or when it hits it. So if the price take more time to develop and eventually hit it somewhere in early August or late July, that would be around 800. Obviously, that's just a wild guess. It can also start accumulating over here and never touch the bottom of the box. So that's the weekly lens showing us. In terms of daily, if I change this to a line chart and maybe adjust this downward trend a little, so that's roughly about this range that we're looking at. Let me get it tighter. Yeah, that's roughly it. And so once it hits the boundary of the blue box, remember it's already outside of the pink box for almost 3 weeks now. If we want to be exact, this was the first day that it went outside of the box, and now we are 15 days, like over 2 weeks outside of this short-term playground zone already. This hasn't happened before, not even like when it was at the low that break outside of the box in September last year. And this also is the first time that it stayed within the white box for a week now. For over from November 2023 to somewhere here, for over a year, for over 460 days, the price was above the white box. So right now it's kind of officially declared that it has returned to the long-term playground zone. For how long it will follow this downward channel or the downward flag, if you are into candlestick patterns, before it has a breakout, we have to observe closely. But as of this moment in time, this would likely be the case that it may try to test the resistance line, the white line, and also the upper boundary of the blue box. That's roughly around end of this month or beginning of April. Then it may either break out, or it may like have a downward motion, either less fierce or more fierce drop. So let's see what which scenario among these three is going to happen by the end of this month. Obviously, it can also linger around the lower edges, similar to this. So remember, I mentioned in other sessions that the playground zones doesn't necessarily has to be horizontal. This blue box is also a playground zone, just that like it's bouncing in a way that is going downwards. These boxes, similar to the pink box, can also have a center line, and the price action over the past 2 weeks roughly, or 3 weeks almost, has been at the lower half. Previously we have seen something at the lower half and then upper half, lower half, upper half. But this time only for 1 day actually. The next day already returned to the lower half. So that's one way we can look at this. I can keep this line. So next week when I go back to this session, we can take a look and see whether the price has successfully go above the center line of the blue box. So thanks for joining. I'll move on to Bitcoin next.